We talk a lot about filters on this channel, and filters are very important. They're a totally critical part of any healthy home, is recirculating the air inside the home and using a filter to capture stuff. Just like if you think of your home as an aquarium, if you unplugged that aquarium pump that's filtering out all the green stuff, within a day, the aquarium turns green. That's gross. So your house is the same way. Yes, they're important, but I just want to give a quick caution because there's a level of filter optimization that people are after. This is a conversation that we've been having in our membership program for the last 7 years, which now you can join on YouTube, actually. We're moving over from Patreon. So if you're interested in being part of the coolest conversation about building science, that's a year-round conversation. We meet twice a month. It's very, very fun. So in this picture, I have taken my ERV and put a pre-filter on it. And I have taken an ERV that has 6-inch duct connections and turned it into an 8-inch connection. I've upsized it by almost 100%. Then I've upsized that to 10-inch here to connect to this, what's called a CFB10 from HVAC Quick. This is like a $250 filter cabinet. And into that goes these 24 by 24 by 4-inch thick media filters. They're amazing. It's great. But I do not explain this picture to myself by saying, I'm going to replace my filter once a year, because maintenance is life and life is maintenance. This is one of the things that people bring up is like, how can I optimize my filters so that I never have to change them? Here is the most direct consequence of that. So if you look at this, this is how you know to change your filters. Sometimes people are thinking like, I should rig up some special pressure gauge to tell me when I should change my filters. Really, this is the bottom line. If your air quality in the house is good, and it not just is talking about radon, which we talk about radon on this channel, PM 2.5, which is what this filter is capturing, PM 1, which is an even smaller metric. This is from an AirThings View Plus, this readout. This is a readout on my phone. It's a great instrument. I really like it. It's about a $300 investment, and it does a lot of stuff for you. You can see right here the VOCs. I like this screenshot because this is an example of what we might be dealing with here. So when you have a year-long filter process, this lifespan of this magical 1-year replacement, or 2 years, God forbid, what happens on the first day is that some bugs land on the filter and they die because they are captured, they can't get away. And then over the course of the coming year, they rot while they're sitting on your filter. Now, this has to do with a couple different factors, according to my friend Jeffrey Siegel, who's an HVAC researcher who's been on this channel a bunch of times. It depends on the humidity level in your home, how fast that decomposition rate works on these little dead bodies of bugs, insects meaning, and also little critters like microbes, fungus, spores, all that stuff, right? Bacteria. And so when they start rotting, based on humidity, or also the other impact would be ozone. If you live in a metro area that's got kind of pollution in the air, and it doesn't have to be a lot, it's just like an elevated level of ozone. That also can speed the chemical reaction of this little dead body decaying. Then you've got enough of these little dead bodies on that within 6 months, I would say, you should take a big deep whiff of that filter, literally put it up to your face and breathe in, and see if that smell of all of that stuff that's been on there for 6 months just decomposing is what you want your whole house to smell like. I bet it's probably not. So I am going to just share with you that I think 6 months is the outside limit of where I would aim to be replacing my filter. And it's because of this. So if you're monitoring these and if you've got this VOC thing, VOCs are just smells, odors. It could be caused by anything. It could be pizza, it could be flowers, it could be nice smells. It's going to show up on this. All things being equal, if this starts spiking, it might be time to change your filter. Also, if this starts spiking, these PM 2.5, PM 1, that might indicate that your filter is not working any longer. It's not grabbing stuff. And that is because another reason to change your filter is that this electret, it's called electret ionization, I think, but it's basically like a static charge that they give to this filter media, the actual filter material. They charge it before it leaves the factory. Then when the people here package this thing into a nice thing and they put the wire backing and all that stuff, that that static charge wears off, and it could wear off as soon as 2 weeks after you install the filter. Could take a couple months, but I think 6 months, I think anybody would say, yeah, it's gone by then. So a MERV 14 filter is not acting like a MERV 14 filter anymore. It's acting like maybe a MERV 10 or even a MERV 8. And that might be another indication that you need to change things up. Now, this is another one of those big filter cabinets that we're installing. I generally recommend this one to all my clients. This is called the Aprilaire 2516. Again, this is like a $250 filter cabinet. It's much bigger than the one that I just showed you. Instead of 24 by 24, this one is 31 by 28. And I recommend this almost all the time because I want to give people the opportunity to do MERV 16 filtration if they ever have need for it. You can see that we have to use this little transition to get down to our air handler. Air handlers are big, but they're not nearly as big as this cabinet. So I made this one by hand with my parents, and then we just installed it. You don't have to insulate it. The company who then installed this Mitsubishi over here were like trying to show off, and they were insulating everything. This is a conditioned crawl space that you can see this in. But the reason that it's big is so that it can do MERV 16, not so that it takes a year for this thing to wear out its lifespan as a MERV 13, which my parents generally use because they're not sick. We don't have to give them almost HEPA quality air to do that. So I would still say, even if it's not getting totally clogged, and if you are remembering that I said something about using a pressure differential to tell, if you were to take what's called the static pressure drop, measure the static pressure on this side of the filter and measure it here and minus one against the other so you know the difference, that number will slowly start to rise. Even if we haven't hit whatever your imaginary limit is for when we should change the filter, we still might want to change it because of this odor thing that we're talking about. So when you are looking around at filters, I think that it's important to give yourself the means of getting the best possible filtration also at the lowest price point. Part of the reason that I use this filter as a pre-filter on my ERV is because the replacement filters for this at 24 by 24, if they're going to take, let's just say the dream is that it takes this 24 by 24, which by the way comes in carbon also. That's kind of interesting. Here we go, the PF13. This one is $28.80 right now. That's less than $30 per, and if you buy more than 3, the price goes down. That's pretty good because those ERV filters that you're going to get that are literally this big cost about 40 to 50 bucks a pop normally. And you're going to be replacing those for sure once every 2 to 3 months because they're so small. So higher static pressure drop, also they're going to clog a lot sooner because they're just so small. So this one, it gives you that ability to take care of that. So I just wanted to make sure that we had this conversation because I hear a lot about this, again, from our membership group and also from just chatter online. I think people are trying to chase low maintenance, and this has been true from when we started touring with the tiny house on wheels. People who are interested in tiny houses are just interested in never paying anything again, never having to take care of anything. That's not real. So please remember that you should be looking at all the systems in your house at least twice a year. Don't put it off and just say every March I check everything on the house. You want to build maintenance into your life because it's going to make you happier long term. That is what durability really is about the submarine captain. You don't have to get that serious about it. That's me in my house. But someone needs to be taking care of these things. Someone is the caretaker, and that is an important job. So keep on making your home better. Keep on taking filters seriously. Keep on replacing your filters when it's time to replace them. Please do comment below if you have other things to add or questions to ask. Like and subscribe. Tune in next time.